In this video, we're going to look at the coins that are in this bag on the screen right here. And these are coins that I picked up from the recent IMEX show that was in downtown Nashville in late October of 2023. And there are not a lot of foreign coin dealers that show up at most coin shows in America, but at least the ones that I've been to. However, this booth did have a foreign coin bin to go through, and it also seemed to be the most popular table of everyone there. Every time I walked by, there were people pouring through this bin, and I got there maybe 15 minutes after the doors opened, so I was one of the first people that had a chance to go through this bin. Now, he had these coins priced at 50 cents each, or $10 would get you 25 coins. Well, I ended up picking up 40 coins in this video, and so he charged me $15 for everything on the screen. That almost gets me to 3 for $1. So they're a little bit nicer coins than what I usually find in a foreign coin bin, where they might charge 4 or 5 for $1. So paying a little extra, I believe, is worth it in with this dealer. Since it's 40 coins, sometimes that's kind of borderline on whether or not we should make one or two videos. We'll go through half of it, see where we're at, and if it's not too long, we'll keep on going. We're going to start with a coin from Colombia featuring Jorge Elieger Gaitan from 1965. Not sure who that is, but this is a 50 or 50 centavos coin from the Republic of Colombia. KM 225. This was a 1-year coin. If you're new to my channel, what I do for a lot of these coins is I give you the book value, usually on coins that are over $1. And then I also keep a running tally and tell you at the very end how much everything we looked at is worth in the catalog. Here is a copper coin from Jordan. This features King Hussein on it. He was the ruler there for a few decades. And usually don't find a lot of copper coins from Jordan. This one is listed as a 1 Kirsch coin. My catalog says that also has a value of 10 piastres. The date there at the top looks like it says 1997. That is really because the way they draw their 6 looks like a 7, so it's really 1996, or on their calendar, 1416. This one's going to be KM 56. And then another coin from Jordan. This one's a little bit newer. I may have been wrong about the last one having King Hussein, but my notes definitely say this one is. This one's going to be a 100 fils coin with a date of 1984, or on their calendar 1404. This one books for $1. Here is a coin from Uganda. This was the first year that Uganda made coins, as they were no longer part of under the control of the British. Dated 1966. I believe it's a 5 cents coin. KM number 1. Here we say have where it says Bank of Uganda, 5 cents. And nice to find this one uncirculated. This coin was in a tiny little package. I don't believe this is mint packaging. It's from Guatemala, and I don't think that Guatemala had any mint sets that they ever released. But this is going to be a un, or 1 centavo, featuring Fray Bartolomé de las Casas. And as I try to not open it out of the package here, keep it preserved until I can get it in a flip, 1958. with the design that we see for a lot of Guatemalan coins. KM 259. This is one of those coins where they made subtle changes to the design of the coin every decade or so. So it's one of those where I always have to look up to see if I have it or not. Here's a coin from Norway featuring King Olav V. This one's going to be KM 420. It's going to be a 5 kroner coin from 1979. As a larger coin, this one does book for $1. From Ceylon, this is a half a cent from 1937. I believe this was either the last year or the next to last year that Ceylon made the half cent. It didn't last too long after this. In 1937, this is KM 110. This coin books for $1.50. Flip it over, and it does feature King George VI. Then another coin from Ceylon. This one is a 1 rupee coin from 1971. I thought I had this coin, but the coin that I had was from 1972 and was after they had become Sri Lanka. The coin, best I can tell, the coin on this side is identical, and there are subtle changes on this side of the coin. Really the only difference I could find was there's a banner that runs across the bottom, and it actually has the word Ceylon written on this the banner on this side, where the Sri Lanka version for the next few years did not have that. Everything else on here appeared to be the same. This one's going to be KM 133. This one books at $4.25. From Peru, we have a 20 centavos coin. This is a design that lasted for a few decades, from about, I'm guessing, about the 30s to the 60s. But in some of the older versions of the coin on this side, instead of just giving out the 4-number year that the coin was made, it actually spells that out. In un mil is the 1,000, 900, that's the 9, so 1900s. 18 is going to be 1918. So when I say decades, I guess it goes back to the 1910s also. And so this one is well worn, as you can tell, but it is going to be minted in Philadelphia. And is KM 215.1. Here's a 1 peso coin from the Philippines from 1985 featuring Jose Rizal. Flip this one over, and my notes say this is called a Tamaraw Bull. This one's going to be KM 243.1. The .2 version of this coin, which appeared a little later in the 80s, had some element redesigns on the heads side of the coin. Here's an older version of the same coin. Well, a different coin, older version of the 1 peso. Also featuring Jose Rizal. I've picked up about 5 or 6 of these in the past, but they're usually in only good condition, or I should say fine condition. This one is might be the best one that I've ever picked up. It's dated 1974. This one's KM 203. Here's an instance where I picked up 2 of the same coin. I guess that was a mistake, but this is from the British overseas territory of St. Helena and Ascension. This is the 2 pence. Both of them are from 1984, which I believe is the only year they made this coin. KM number 2. And this one features what they call it's a 1-year coin. It's a donkey with firewood. So you can see how they have kind of bundled up a bunch of wood that the donkey is going to be carrying. So nice 1-year coin. And despite it being a 1-year coin from a country that's hard to find, it only books for 30 cents. This coin is from South Africa. At the very bottom, it is listed as 1/4 of a D. And that goes back to the British pre-decimal system, where 1/4 of a D means that it is a quarter penny. Actually, in Britain, they would call this a farthing, but they actually labeled it 1/4 of a penny here in South Africa. There are also 2 versions of this coin. In the 1950 version, it has South Africa on the left and South Africa on the right. But in the next couple of years, they actually, the legend switched places on there, where South Africa is on the right. So this one's going to be a coin with George VI. This one's going to be KM 32.1, and the .2 version is where the 2 sides, the 2 legends switch. So the South African coin was the same shape and size as the British equivalent coin. They did the same thing in New Zealand, where here we have a New Zealand full penny. So this is the same size as the British full penny. Although Britain wouldn't call it King George VI like they spell it out here. But it's probably 4 times the size as that last coin. This one features, I don't know what the kind of bird here is, but it is from 1952. KM21, this coin books for $1. We can go from there to another country that has coins the same size as British coins, but this one's going to be from Ireland. And so even though the British coins and Ireland coins broke apart well before this, they still kept the same size of their coin. So this one's the half penny, or 1/2 of a D, and it uses their a lot of the Irish coins used their Celtic Gaelic language until probably 70 or 80 years ago. Today they would appear to be more in English, but I believe the words there in the bottom essentially say half penny. Then here's the harp design that appears on all Irish coins. That one's from 1942. KM10. I wasn't completely sold on going through the whole bin of coins digging in until I found this one. And then after I found this one, I decided I'm really going to dive in and go through the entire box. This one is from Macao, and it is soon after it became the special administrative region of Macao. I think that means that it was first or no longer controlled by Portugal and was starting to be controlled by China. I think that's what that means, but I'm not sure on that. But it is a 5 patakas coin, and I have several of the 1 patakas, but this is my first 5 patakas. And let's see, this one is KM56. And on the back here, it features what they call a Chinese junk ship. Not that the ship itself is junk, but that's just what they called the certain type of boat. And then behind that are the ruins of St. Paul's Cathedral. This coin books for $1, and I believe it was only made for 1 year. Here is a 1/2 of a cent from Liberia, dated 1937. This coin was only made out of brass for 1 year. And then starting in 1941, they made this coin out of copper nickel. So this one's KM10, and the copper nickel version is going to be 10A. Flip this one over to see the elephant, which appears on a lot of the Liberian coins of this time. If you like African animals, then the coins from Botswana are usually pretty good. It features a couple of zebra here in the back with from 1998. Their currency is called the pula, so this is a portion of a pula. Flip this one around. It's a 50 Thebe. So we have an eagle which has picked up a fish, and I didn't even notice the fish at first, but in the catalog, the name of this eagle is actually called the African fish eagle. So I guess it's a species of eagle which is known for diving in the water and picking up fish. So then found that to be kind of neat. This one is KM29. Here's another penny from a coin that was controlled by Jamaica. Controlled by Britain. This one is Jamaica, has the alligator at the very top. And this is a coin that I usually find in rough shape. And so even though this one might be very fine, it's actually better than I usually see this coin. So again, it says King George VI on it. This one is KM35. If you found this in MS60 condition, it'd be worth $10. Here's a coin from the Netherlands Indies, or also called the Netherlands East Indies. Today, this is Indonesia. This is a 1-cent coin from 1942. It has a P mint mark where during World War II, the Netherlands East Indies had their coins made at the Philadelphia Mint. So that's our second Philadelphia coin today. Netherlands also likes to have privy marks on their coins, and so this one features a palm tree privy mark right there next to the N. Flip this one over, and it has all of the languages that are spoken in Indonesia. I can't read any of them. I think this side is facing up because of the flowers that are kind of left and right of the hole. This one is KM317, books for $1. Here's the only token that we're going to have in the video. This one is from the Erie, Pennsylvania. See, it's the Erie Metropolitan Transit Authority. Welcome aboard. And so this is a one fare. I don't even know what type of transportation this is, whether it's a train or a trolley or a ferry or something like that, but it features Wayne Blockhouse. I don't have a date on this one, but looking up Numista, it says that if this was made out of bronze, it was made in 1968. So I'm going to guess this one is a little bit newer. The catalog for transportation tokens is the Atwood Coffee catalog, and in their catalog, this is PA for Pennsylvania 360D. If it was the bronze version, I'm not able to find the nickel version or steel or whatever metal this one's made out of. Here we have a 1 centimo coin. Coin looks pretty close to uncirculated, although there are spots all around the letters here closer to the outer rim that just look a little bit well worn, so I'm thinking that is just the dies were kind of worn by this point. But it's from 1948 from Paraguay. The catalog only says that's a flower, didn't really say what kind. This one's going to be KM20, and this one's worth $2. Egypt has some designs that are similar to this, but this coin's actually going to be from Syria. Sometimes you just have to tell which way the eagle is facing and if there are any stars on the shield in the middle. But it is from Syria and has a date of 1976 on our calendar. Their calendar is 1396. We flip this one over, and this is an FAO coin. I don't know if FAO is written on here anywhere, but it does have the wheat that kind of makes a circle on the left and then a gear that makes a circle on the right. This features some kind of dam, but I'm not sure which one. There's a tiny little 5, which is the circle there above it. So this one is a 5 piastres coin, KM 110. Here is a 2 centavos coin from Colombia. If there was a mint mark, it would be here at the very bottom, and I kind of see like a little spot right there, but that's not actually a mint mark. If you had one, it would be the letter B for Bogota. This one is going to be from Colombia, 1965. Apparently, there is a common 5/3 date here for the 1965 date. I am unable to tell if that is the 5/3 or if it's just a 5 on here. The just a 5 is actually the rarer, more valuable version of this. And so I could see it being a 3. It's kind of hard to tell, but the 1965 is a large date. 1963 is the short date of this coin, and there's also different years before and after this one where there was no gap right here between Republica and de Colombia. So where the letters are just more consistently through here. The cap of this character is winged head with the liberty cap. I guess the cap is a little bit too close to that. So there's subtle changes. So this is one of those coins where I always have to look it up in the catalog just to see which one I've got. So this one is KM 211. You can still find silver in some of these foreign coin bins, and so it's usually these lower value silver ones, but hey, I'll definitely pick this one up every time I can get silver below spot. Now this 25 centavos coin from 1950 is only 30% silver, but it is it's not the tiniest coin out there. So this one is 0.0321 ounces of silver. Roughly, I'm going to say that's about 70 cents of silver at $22 spot price. So this is probably the 10th one of these I've found over the years, and so I pick it up every time as long as I'm not paying $1 for it. And the catalog number is KM 443. For a short while, Chile was using the escudos system, and this was the largest denomination coin they made during those days, the 100 escudos. So that EO at the top is their abbreviation for escudo. This one's 1974. I believe it was only made 74 and 75. KM 202. This is made out of nickel brass. And like a lot of Chilean coins, it features a condor. KM 202. I always like finding coins from the bailiwick of Guernsey. The font that they use on their coins just seems different than anything else you see on other coins, and almost makes it difficult to read. If you'd never heard of Guernsey, you'd have trouble figuring out what this even was, but I like the 3 lion design here in the middle. This is the 1 new penny from 1971. They don't mint coins every year from here, so this was the only year that they had the word new printed on the penny in 1971. The name of this bird is called a gannet. KM 21. Here's another coin that appears to have been preserved in a wrapper to help save it, so I'm happy with that. Again, this is, well, it's from a country that didn't make mint sets, or at least they didn't in 1948. It is Czechoslovakia, so very soon after World War II. It says Republic of Czechoslovakia, featuring a kind of a fighting lion design there. Flip this one over. It does have some Soviet symbolism with a sickle going through some wheat. It's a 20 Helena coin. KM20. This one books for $1. If you happen to find one from 1947, it's a very rare year. If you found it in MS60, it would book for $300. So the catalog doesn't say how many there are, but there can't be many if it's going to be worth that much. We're back to another coin from Chile. This one's actually going to be the most valuable coin that we see in this video. It's a 50 centavos from 1942, was only made 1 year. It has a Santiago mint mark above the 50. It looks like the letter S with a tiny little O on top of it. It's a 1-year coin, and it features, like a lot of the Chilean coins that don't have a condor on them, it features Bernard O'Higgins. This one's KM178, books for $5. Here's a coin from Sierra Leone featuring Sir Milton Margai. It says Unity, Freedom, and Justice. On the head side, we'll flip it over. It's a 1-cent coin from 1964. Featuring a large number 1 surrounded by palm branches. KM17. Surprisingly, this coin only books for 25 cents. Here's another penny that is the size of a British penny. This one's from 1922 from Australia, featuring George V. So on this coin, condition is everything when you look in the price guide. I guess I'm calling this fine condition, I guess. I'm saying it's only going to book for 25 cents when I have my running tally, but if you found this in extra fine, it would book for $40. If you found this in uncirculated MS60, it would book for $350. So I guess that just goes to show how difficult it is to find these in good shape. So we're back to a halfpenny again. This one's in decent condition compared to the last one for sure. George VI, the King and Emperor. And this time we're at New Zealand, 1941, halfpenny. So again, the condition makes a bit of difference on here. A little bit of corrosion slightly around the letters on here. If you had this one in MS60 uncirculated, it's still worth $20. And so we're a little bit closer, but not quite there on the condition of this one. KM12, if I didn't say it earlier. And I need to find some of the native artwork featured on this coin. This eagle design was used on coins from the German Empire for the first 30 or 40 years of their existence. This is a coin that was made out of copper nickel for the first few years, and then eventually around World War I it switched to iron, and then close to World War II or after World War I it switched to zinc. This one's a tin pfennig coin from 1921. This is also at a time where they did not use a mint mark, which is unusual for German coins. KM26. Is this our first coin with Queen Elizabeth today? We usually have a lot of them. This coin is going to be from Cyprus. I picked up this coin before, but this was the closest uncirculated that I may have found of this coin. So the government of Cyprus, 3 mils from 1955. So I do find it interesting that They were not on the pre-decimal system, but they still have a 3 mil coin. So I don't think they had a 1 mil, but they didn't have a 6 mil. They went from the 3 to the 5 to the 10. So not quite sure how they may change on those, but this shows a flying fish and is KM33. I found another one in a wrapper. Now, this is a fairly common coin, but since it's in a wrapper, I figured this was probably an upgrade in my collection. 1957 has a monogram of R the Ninth from Denmark. 10 ore. KM 841.2, and since this one is this one's close to uncirculated, so this one actually has a book value of about $1.50. And while I think it's in the same kind of wrapper as the first two in this video, they did make mint sets, but I'm going to say this is just some collector at some point put that in a wrapper. Next we have this coin from India. It's a 1 paisa coin from 1964. Has a star below the date, which means that it was minted in Hyderabad. India likes to use symbols instead of an actual letter. This is a 1-year coin, and so the more common version of this was made out of a nickel brass. So the Hyderabad version is the only one that was made out of bronze that year. So KM 582A. Here we have an uncirculated coin from Lebanon, 50 piastres. Lebanon coins features the cedar of Lebanon. The date in 1970, but this time the Arabic date is also 1970. This one's going to be KM 28.1, and the point 1 versus point 2 just talks about how the number 50 is written on the other side. Here we have a coin from Poland. This one is a 5 zloty coin. I think this is someone who is catching fish with a net on an aluminum coin. Flip this one over. It shows the Poland eagle from 1959. KM number 47. We're going to finish off today with a coin from Costa Rica, and I usually don't pick up Costa Rican coins when at this price. I just usually get them out of grab bags because they all pretty much look the same. I can't tell the difference, but it just felt different that this one is a large coin and a 2 colones. It was dated in 1968. As it turns out, I did have it, but it might be an upgrade to the one in my collection. It's KM 187.2, and it has BCCR, which is the Central Bank of Costa Rica, on the edge lettering. So there we go. That was all 40 coins that I picked up from this one booth. And so a running tally of the value of everything we looked at today was $32. And so, as I say before, I'm not trying to sell these usually. I'm just looking at this price point. I'm really only trying to buy coins that are either going to be added to my collection or upgrade things in my collection. And so I'm not really looking for duplicates or things to sell, but there will be a few that will get sold out of here. And so with a total book value of $32, I think we did pretty good. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.